Tens of thousands of longshoremen on the east and Gulf coasts have walked off the job, bringing vital port operations to a standstill. The folks responsible for unloading your avocados, car parts, and those questionable fidget spinner knockoffs are officially on strike. In this interconnected web we call global trade, a hiccup in one place can send shockwaves across the entire system. Cargo ships are piling up like neglected laundry, unable to unload their precious cargo. This means delays, shortages, and a whole lot of finger-pointing as businesses scramble to figure out how to get their goods to consumers. So, buckle up, Buttercup, because this ride's about to get bumpy. What drove these hard-working men and women to down their tools? It boils down to two little words: money and fear. The Longshoremen, represented by the International Longshoremen's Association, ILA, argue that they deserve a bigger slice of the pie. They're the ones breaking their backs unloading those massive shipping containers, risking life and limb in often dangerous conditions. And let's not forget, these are the same folks who kept the supply chain chugging along during the darkest days of the pandemic. The union is also deeply concerned about the looming threat of automation. The ILA is demanding guarantees from port operators that their jobs won't be sacrificed at the altar of efficiency. In short, they want what any reasonable person wants: a fair shake and a secure future. On the other side of the bargaining table, we have the United States Maritime Alliance, USMX, representing the bigwigs of the shipping industry. The USMX argues that they've already offered a generous package to the union, including substantial wage increases and improved benefits. They claim that the ILA's demands are unreasonable and that acceding to them would cripple the industry, leading to higher costs for everyone. When it comes to automation, the USMX insists that it's not about replacing workers, but rather about modernizing operations and staying competitive in a global marketplace. They argue that embracing new technologies is essential for improving efficiency, reducing costs, and ultimately benefiting both workers and consumers. There's no doubt that the shipping industry has been raking in record profits in recent years, while wages for many workers have stagnated. But there's also no denying that automation is changing the face of the workforce, and that adapting to these changes will require difficult choices and compromises from both sides. In the meantime, the rest of us are left to watch and wonder. How long will this standoff last? And what will the ultimate cost be? Businesses across the country are scrambling to mitigate the fallout from the strike. Some are rerouting shipments to ports on the West Coast or relying on more expensive air freight options. The government, meanwhile, is walking a tightrope, trying to balance the needs of businesses and consumers with the rights of workers. Some industry groups are calling on President Biden to intervene, urging him to invoke the dreaded Taft-Hartley Act, which would force the longshoremen back to work. So far, the president has resisted calls to intervene directly, instead urging both sides to return to the negotiating table and hammer out a deal. But as the strike drags on and the economic pain starts to bite, the pressure on Biden to act will only intensify. This situation is a stark reminder of the delicate balance between labor and capital, and the challenges of navigating these complex issues in a rapidly changing world. The outcome of this strike could have far-reaching implications not just for the shipping industry, but for the future of labor relations in the United States. Will it embolden other unions to take a harder line in negotiations? Will it accelerate the push for automation, potentially displacing even more workers? Only time will tell.